Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm meadsy69. Welcome back to the channel. Now, we're going to do today's video a little bit different because I've actually managed to get on my PC for this video. So what we're going to do is we are going to have a look at the GC, the Tier 8 Japanese heavy tank. Now, unlike the Type 71, obviously I did a Type 71 review, and I didn't go into full detail with that, and to be honest, I was running it with the wrong equipment. So we're going to have a look at this, and we're going to have a live gameplay for you, just to see how we get on. I do apologise for any sound because you're going to hear my mouse, because my old mouse, my new mouse broke, so I'm now using my old mouse, which is very clickety. So the GC, to be honest, this is built like a brick. It really is built like a brick. So the Tier 8 version. Now, equipment wise, I run pretty much, now I run the Tier 8, Tier 9 and Tier 10 with the improved suspension. It just makes it so much better. It honestly just makes it so much better. I also run it with the rammer, but if you want to, you can run it with calibrated shells as well. But I think the penetration, I mean, 278 if you run it with calibrated shells, or you can have 2400 DPM. You're losing 171 DPM if you want to have more pen. Now, I mean, the extra pen is not much considering it has AP and AP. If it had heat, then that would probably be over nearly 300 millimeters. So it doesn't affect it too much. It's not massive. So on that point, I will run it with the gun rammer. Now, what we're also going to do is we're going to look at the stats, and then we are going to look at the armor profile, because I know a lot of you said about the Type 71 about looking at the armor profile in these reviews because it shows the effective armor, and that is what I did wrong with the Type 71. So first of all, we're going to have a look at the stats. Now, the turret armor on this base is 234, which for a Tier 8 tank is still pretty strong. And the hull is 203 millimeters thick, which is pretty decent. You have, as I've spoke about, you've got 2454 DPM. Reload time is 7.5, so not bad, to be honest. It really isn't bad DPM. Penetration 215, which, okay, you might struggle against some tier 9 tanks, but overall with the 265 on your pen, you should get through most things. There will be occasions where heavy tanks in tier 9 frontally, E75s, VKs, etc., you might struggle with. HE pen is 60, and you're doing 310 alpha on your standard AP, 280 on your premium AP, and 400 on your HE. Aim time is 4.2, so not the best aim time, and the dispersion is 0.344. It's got 6 degrees of gun depression if you run it with that equipment. Of course, you can get it to 9 degrees of gun depression if you have that kind of play style, but that has always been me. I've always gone over gun depression before anything else. For me, gun depression has always been one of the most important stats. That is before this line came into the game. Honestly, I don't think you should run this with gun depression. The speed 35 kilometers per hour. So what we're going to do is we are going to find, if I can find it, we're going to have, where are we? So here we go. So here is the armor profile, and already looking directly at this tank, you can see how red it is. Now, frontally, the effective, just looking at the upper plate there, effective, it is 320 millimeters thick. So looking directly at a tank, it is still super strong on that front plate there. Of course, the lower plate is fairly weak, and it is quite a big weak point at 152. But of course, if you start angling, that will get thicker, but not too much, to be honest. So people will still be able to pen you. So you need to hide that lower plate as much as you can. If you angle, you can see there the upper plate is still almost 350 millimeters. So yeah, pretty strong. The turret, either side, you still see here, even looking directly, even though it's orange, effective, it was still almost 280 millimeters thick either side. And of course, the gun mantlet is very strong as well. The roof of the tank, you can see, even though it's yellow at this angle, it is over 500 millimeters thick. So again, that is super strong. And the hatch there is 145 millimeters. So yeah, I mean, frontally, it is really built like a brick. It really is. The side, of course, you're going to get no armor whatsoever. To be honest, 100 millimeters is still not too bad, and 90 or so on the back. The lower back there is what effective is like 160. That's still pretty decent. Side of the turret there, 109. Yeah, not too bad. Not too bad at all. Of course, if you are looking directly at them, try to not sort of always try and aim your gun, because as soon as you try to turn your turret, it does become a lot weaker. So frontally, you need to play this frontally. And with the new, let me just hide this, with the new equipment, you can get that average speed up, you can get the whole turn rate degrees up, or much better. The terrain resistance, the road, ground and water, you can also get massively up. So basically this tank becomes a heavium, and that makes it very important, and it's something that I didn't look at when I was reviewing the Type 71. I didn't even look at this equipment. As soon as I see the improved V-stabs and it gives an extra 3 degrees, I straight away, yep, I am having that. With 9 degrees of gun depression, that is absolutely amazing. But yeah, for this line, and I would say probably this line only so far, running it without the gun depression is a better choice. So we're going to jump into game. Again, you might hear some clickety-click in the background, so I do apologise for that. Also, you're not going to get some OP gameplay. I am on PC, and most of you know that when I stream, I'm not great on PC. I can have my days, and I'm pretty decent, but usually I'm not great. Now, this is the first time playing this tank, so I'm going to get first impressions. I've seen it in the battlefield, and it looks very strong. Just having a sip of my drink. So we are in a tier 7 game. So to be honest, this should be okay. Depending on what the team do, depending on what the enemy do, it shouldn't be too bad. Now, hopefully they don't all go towards the right side. If we go to the left side, it's not too bad. Don't forget, the speed on this thing, you can still play it like a medium. You can play it like a heavy. It's got the armor profile to play it like a heavy. It's got the mobility to play it like a medium tank as well. And that is what makes this tank fantastic. Not just this tank, but the line. It makes the line so much better. And my original review on the Type 71 is pretty much useless now. It really is useless, because playing it with this equipment instead of the gun depression really does make it a different tank. It really does. Now, of course, the heavies have gone to the right side, so I'm going to go and try and bully this RU251, and you can probably see we will be able to get some bounces there. That was my fault, but you have to wiggle as well. If you can get your side, then of course you're going to get penetrated, but you can still get the bounces as well. So just bear that in mind. You still have to wiggle to get effective. Now, there's 2 tank destroyers to the left. My team are all there. To be honest, I probably don't even need to be this way. They're probably going to die before I even get there. Yep, he dies before I get there. So I'm going to head towards the town, and you can see the T28 HTC there. Now I'm going to switch to premium ammo, and I'm going to try to see if I can angle in this thing. He misses anyway, so we're just going to go for the little blind shot there. And what we're going to do is we're going to play a little bit further forward. Now I might get shot on my way, but you can see we can still get some bounces. Penetration is not the greatest, and the aim time is, as you can see, not the greatest either. Now I know there's a lurver there. The whole thing of this is, it is a medium tank. It's a heavium. It's a heavium, so play it like a heavium. You can play it like a medium tank. You can play it like a heavy. You can basically play it how you freaking want to play it. And that is what makes this tank so good. Of course, you come out sideways, you're going to get bullied. You're going to get bullied all day long. But that is where you need to wiggle. If you start wiggling, you will get bounces. You need to wiggle, just like we're doing there. And you, honestly, you're going to get bounces. But you have to wiggle. Don't give them your side like I'm doing here. Just wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Yeah. And you'll get bounces. And you can see we just bullied this guy. Easy. Absolutely easy, no problem whatsoever, and that is game over. Very, very easy game there, and I didn't do much damage, but it was I didn't really want to show the damage, to be fair. It's not about damage. I wanted to block damage, I wanted to do damage, and I think we did okay there. For what it is, just the first game, we did okay, and just that game shows how good this tank can actually be in the right situation. You can get bounces, you can get there quite quickly because it is a quick tank, and you can, I mean, yeah, it's as simple as that. It is definitely built like a brick, and I love the fact that most people will go for the gun depression, because 9 degrees of gun depression on something with such a nice turret and nice armor, people will always go for that. But honestly, guys, don't go for this one. Go for the improved suspension, because it does make it a completely different tank. And what is better, if you get bored of it, just switch it up. Play it with the improved vertical stabilizers, because you play it completely different. Both of these, just one equipment change, you're playing it completely different to how you would if you was running it with this one. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Let me know what you think of this tank. I honestly think it is a very, very good tank. Very, very strong, and really heavily well armored. Hope you enjoyed today's video. I'm meadsy69, and I will catch you all soon. Bye-bye. With